All right. So the course that we're going to focus or talk about today called VBA Foundation. All right. VBA Foundation, and we'll talk a little bit more detail about it. But before we get started, just a reminder, the session is getting recorded, but doesn't mean that you need to restrict yourself from anything. Just make sure that there are no background noises or videos of yours, so the recording is not interrupted. However, feel free to interrupt at any time, all right, and ask question that you have. Before we get started, I'll do a quick introduction of about AFCKs. How many of you are old AFCK students though?
I am
You are?
Meghna.
Yes, Meghna, you are
Me
there.
also. Prasad.
Okay.
I'm not a student, but Razak, he worked with our organization on one of the critical automation projects.
Okay. So you know about FCKs little bit. But just for the
Yeah.
sake of this recording, FCKS is a training institute or a technology institute which is a brainchild of Raza. Raza has established this institute around, if I'm not wrong, uh, 15 years back or so. We are in training from almost 13 to 15 years now. Um, the focus of FCKS and what FCKS stands for is FCKS stand for achieving freedom by creativity and knowledge sharing, right? So we focus on helping you learn and understand some of the creative skills that you can leverage to be independent from worrying about job, to be independent about getting you into your next role and have enough skills that help you practically in your day-to-day work or for your next venture, right? uh, all the things that we do here is helping. We don't actually train. We don't actually are code professors. We are instructor. We help you understand a specific skill and try to make sure that you are expert at it, right? Uh, and we really, really value your goals. We really value what you want to do by learning some of these courses. And we also want to understand where you're going to use some of these knowledge that you take, right? So we stay connected from that point of view. Talking about that, let's do a small discussion around it. I want to understand from all of you why you want to learn VBA. Like you all has enrolled for it, and I'm going to talk about VBA a little bit. But is there any thoughts that you have in mind that this is something that I want to get out of this VBA course? Let's talk about it, right? Let me bring up this screen, and I know there are four students, so maybe I can start with Prasad. Prasad, what exactly you want out of this VBA sessions or VBA course? Is there anything on your mind that you want to learn out of this?
Actually, I just wanted to learn VB, which will help me in my day-to-day activity, where I can implement like a VB macros, and I can simplify the process, day-to-day process.
Okay, excellent. So we'll talk about how VBA helps there. I have an entire slide that talks about how VBA helps. All right. Um, I'll go to Meghna.
Hi. So I want to learn VBA is because I'm planning for some IJP in the organization, or probably changing the domain altogether. So I wanted to know if this, I mean, I want to learn VBA because I believe this will add further to my cap, and I'll be able to excel more better
Okay,
if I get to
perfect.
know new things. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. That's a good thought, right? So it will add a value into your resume for sure, and you'll be more employable, definitely. Yes. Sheetal, your thoughts?
Sure. Actually, at the start of my career, I wanted to learn it, but I couldn't get that much time. So right now, I wanted to invest. Yeah, every time I tried to learn something new, and this time I picked up VBA, and definitely it will add value to my work, what I'm doing right now, on a more smarter way. So that's why, and I'm more interested in learning that language, how that works. So I'm very interested. When I started, I worked with Razak as well. That time also, I decided that I will also learn this one.
Okay, okay, fantastic. No, this is great. Um, Prashant, what about you?
हाय। एक्चुअली जैसे प्रसाद ने कहा ना वैसे ही है कि मैं जो डे टू डे काम करता हूँ
हाँ हाँ,
उसमें थोड़ा सिंप्लीफाई करने के लिए VBA सीखना चाहता हूँ।
ठीक है,
सो
परफेक्ट, परफेक्ट। ऑलराइट, सो चलिए हम लोग थोड़ा वीबीए के बारे में जानते हैं। वीबीए पे जाएंगे। आई जस्ट वांट टू गेट अ लिटिल बिट, गिव यू लिटिल बिट मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट एफसीकेस। सो एफसीकेस के बारे में मैंने बताया। अभी एफसीकेस के अंदर और क्या बेनिफिट्स हैं आपको भी मैं बता देता हूँ। जो हमारे ट्रेनर्स हैं, ऑल आवर ट्रेनर्स आर इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट एंड हैव प्रैक्टिकल एक्सपीरियंस इन हैंड। For example, me myself, I'm still working somewhere and I have experience of doing the same thing that I'm teaching you. I do it on regular basis, or my team does it on regular basis, right? Uh, the methods that we are using for teaching here are the most simplified way to learn it. Like a lot of people have question. Let's talk about this specific course. Like, hey, this is programming. I'm not from programming background. Will I still be able to do it, right? Of course you will be, because we use the method which is not only designed or limited to IT or science or engineering grads, right? If you're one of those, great, but even if you're not, you'll not lag behind at all, right? So that is one of the focus area as well for us. And we have some areas where we can help you even after completing this course. Like we have job forums, we have query solving group, we have a lifetime support for anything that you need. You can reach out to one of our instructor or you reach out to your own instructor. They are basically your friends after you complete the class. All right. Uh, some more, and I'm promised this is the last slide about FCKs, and then we'll jump to the course. The curriculum that we have designed is has a lot of research behind it. So a lot of things that you learn here, you can practically take it to your work and implement it as is, right? You'll not even have to do a lot of code changes. You can just take it, update the file references and paths, and you'll be able to implement it. And the sessions that we'll have are designed to be interactive, so you don't have to spend time beyond your, you know, class hours. So time that you spend in this class is what all you'll need to spend. You'll not have to spend extra time during your working or personal time to learn a little bit more. So there is no homework that will give you. There is no areas where we'll say, hey, you'll have to do this on your own, right? We'll teach you everything in the class and we'll give you enough time to practice it in the class itself. Sometimes many students ask for some assignment that they can spend extra time on. We'll definitely do that. That will also be available. All right. So those are some of the things that we do for all the classes, all subject, all the trainings that we do at FCKS. Any question on this? I'll give you 10 seconds to digest and see if you have any questions. All right. Let's go ahead and we'll talk about VBA. Okay. Let me ask you a question. What is VBA? So when you hear about VBA, what do you think about? आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है जब आप VBA word सुनते हो? I'm not talking about full form. Full form is there on the screen, Visual Basic for Application. But what do you think about VBA when you hear VBA or somebody says, "Hey, I know VBA." What do you think about it? What is your basic idea about it?
Okay, maybe I'll go first.
Sure.
So, when we visualize something or imagine something, so automatically steps are being drafted in our mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we just see those steps, we just execute those steps according to that in our mind. So, it's nothing but like that, not in mind, but on a some other system. We are executing the same,
Okay. So
whatever
you
we think.
imagine it as a instructions of language, a
Mhm.
language instruction which is getting executed, right? Set of
Yeah.
instruction.
Hmm.
Okay, very good. Anybody else? आपके दिमाग में क्या आता है जब आप वर्ड VBA सुनते हो?
So
Automation,
Some
analytics.
VBA,
programming language, maybe.
Okay, programming language. Yeah, right.
VBA, we can say that it is a sub function of Excel, and which will help us to reduce the repeated work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. That's a fair definition. What else? Anything else? All right, so let's understand what is VBA. So VBA is Visual Basic for Application. It is a language designed and developed by Microsoft. Work with all Office application. So VBA is not only limited to Excel. It works into multiple different applications as well, like Outlook, PowerPoint, Word, um, any Office application you pick up, it works. In fact, it works in many other applications which are beyond Office. However, for our course, our focus will be on Excel, right? So we'll learn it through Excel because we focus on data manipulation and data analytics, right? So our focus will be Excel. Now, many programming language requires something called IDE, okay, or a development kit or a development software. For this, you don't need anything, okay, you don't need any integrated development environment. All you need to do is have Excel. You don't need to install any additional software, okay? So there's no cost involved beyond what you already pay for Excel. So that another benefit of learning VBA. And you can automate any repetitive work or data processing work using this language. It's an object-oriented language, and I'll explain you what does it means in a while or when we start the class. But think about it in a way that everything that you work through in VBA has a name and you try to manipulate it using that language. So that's why it is in a way called object-oriented. And it is one of the easiest coding language to learn. This is the first language that I have learned in programming. I also know many other languages now, but this one was the basic. So if you're doing programming for first time, this will help you enormously. How many of you are doing programming for first time? I know Meghna, you are. Prashant,
Mhm.
go ahead. I think there is
Yes, yes, yes.
okay. All right, yeah. I see the raised hand. So all of you are doing programming for first time. So don't worry about it. This is one of the easiest programming language you can ever think about. All right. Okay. Now, the next question you probably will ask is why should I learn VB? And I ask you that question, why you want to learn. Here are some of my thoughts why you should learn VBA. One, it helps you jumpstart the automation career if you want to get into automation. Okay. It is also a path for data science. So data science requires a lot of coding. VBA can be used it. Mostly people use Python, but this will also give you similar kind of result as well as it will help you understand in general programming language. It is very easy to learn. It has a very wide application. So it's not, as I said, it's not only limited to data manipulation. You can automate things with it, and that will be our focus. With automation, of course, you can save time. You can increase accuracy because you're not repeating activities on your own. It is done using computers, so it's always faster. It will help you save time and money because the TAT or turnaround time is what you call is reduced. Your accuracy is increased, so you don't have to do it again. It will help you progress in career, and that is the smallest part of it, to be honest. That is something that you'll get very easily once you learn VBA. All right, and you'll definitely be more employable. So these are some of the benefits, or these are some of the reasons you should learn VB. Any question on any of these points?
No.
All right, I'll move on. The next thing is probably you should ask why you should learn now. Now, let me ask you this. Prasad told me that he has done VBA before. Uh, Sheetal, you told me you wanted to do VBA long back, right? How many of you wanted to do some
Yes.
of these things long back and now you're thinking about it? I know Meghna is exception. Probably Meghna wanted to just heard about VBA and she's trying to do it now, right, Meghna?
Yeah, yes,
So
yes.
Meghna is the most ahead of the curve. But lot of us, especially even when I learned it, I wanted to do it like 2 years back and I joined it at FCKS myself around 15 years before now, right? Uh, but the thing is, lot of you wanted to do it before and have some of these skills on your profile, but you did not do it. Now, this is the best time you do it because in coming years, 50% of tasks that you're doing will be automated, and you'll probably seeing it already in your company that it is getting automated. There's a huge demand in market for data analyst and data scientist. Okay,
Yeah.
right? This will help you. And if you don't do it now, probably you'll see your colleague doing VBA automations and talking about it, and you'll be like, "Yeah, मुझे भी करना है," right? So that's the risk. So these are some of the reasons that you should learn it today. Plus, it will help you take a step towards your dream job. All of us have dreams, which are never ending, right? Today we are in this job. Next thing we want in a better job, right? This is what will help you get there. Okay? These are some of the reasons that I can think about that why you should learn now. Why timing is important. All right. Any question?
No, sir.
No.
All right. Perfect. Um, I'll just talk a little bit about next steps. I think timing is slightly wrong here. It says 8 a.m. whereas this is going to be from 9:30 to uh, 11, right? That is the time you are received, correct?
Yes.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll just correct it so we can capture it here. It will be from 9:30 to 11 a.m. and it's a Monday to Friday class. So the duration overall will be short. We'll be able to complete this in approximately 2 months or less, depends on how we go about it. Uh, what does it include? And let me give you step-by-step guidance around it, right? What you need to do to start with this course. First, you need to complete your registration process, which includes fees payment. There is a discount if you do one-time payment, or you can do into two installment. I have noted down payment methods, and you'll receive message about it, how you can do it. Let's talk about the important part. You need to make sure that you attend class without missing them. If you miss, of course, we'll help you cover it. There will be revision and everything provided, but the recommendation is that you don't miss it because what happens is it breaks the link in some way, and then you don't feel like getting ahead with what you have missed. So recommendation is try not to miss. If let's say there are 4 or 5 students in the class and two of them are leave, probably we'll take a leave for entire class that day. You can ask Prashant. Prashant has attended one of the morning session on Power BI. If
Yes, sir.
students are not there, will even one student is missing, we'll say, hey, let's keep today. Let's continue from tomorrow. Right, Prashant?
सॉरी सर, हाँ, यस सर, हमने लगभग 15 दिन एक्सटेंड किया था।
हाँ, क्योंकि हम चाहते हैं कि स्टूडेंट मिस ना करें, सो हम लोग एक्सटेंड कर लेते हैं। बट रिकमेंडेशन ये रहेगी कि आप लोग भी ट्राई करो कि आप लोग मिस ना करो। ठीक है? आई डोंट माइंड स्पेंडिंग एक्स्ट्रा डेज, एक्स्ट्रा टाइम। ऐसे नहीं कि मुझे 2 महीने में खत्म कर ही देना है। ओके? आई डोंट माइंड एक्सटेंडिंग इट because any reasons, like there could be festival, there could be something at home or something else, right? So we make sure that we cover our all the examples. We make sure that you are able to understand. So duration will be based on that. That is why we are saying approx. Now, another thing is we try to make sure that uh, the class is as interactive as possible. So all efforts we put, but then it is up to student to make sure that they ask questions, right? And we give you enough cues, plenty of time to practice during the class itself, so you don't miss anything. All right. Then once you attend the class and be good at VBA, there will be an exam. The exam will be conducted by FCKS, and it will be free of cost. You don't have to pay anything. If you pass it with the requirements, you will get a certification that can be verified on our portal, right? And FCKS is in Pune from long time. We have a lot of students here. We do undertake a lot of projects in different companies, so there's a very good reputation for FCKS certification, right? Of course, you will get access to some of our job forums and query support groups where our past students and some of our affiliates post jobs that they have. We don't offer job guidance or job guarantee. It's just a forum where you can go ahead and check if some of the jobs you are interested in, you can apply simply, right? So that is one thing. And you will also get uh, you'll be also get access to learn new examples. So what happens is in this batch probably I'll add 10 new examples. In next batch I'll add probably few more, right? You get access to learn all those examples free of cost. You receive them on email, so you can access them as well. And lastly, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Rada sir or Imran if you need any future guidance about what should be the next course you should take on. Right? So that is also one of the things. So this is the activity that you need to do. Any question on this part?
No, sir.
All right. So once you are certified, what you need to do is get certification, start implementing, make sure that the work you're doing reflects what you learn, so you don't forget about it. If you don't use it, you're gonna forget it, right? So start implementing it. Start applying for your dream job through our portal or through your companies or through somewhere else. So you have the reason we say that start applying for your dream job is not because we want you to start looking out for a job. We want you to be in a job where you are able to utilize and enjoy the knowledge that you gained from this institute, because that will really help you. And keep learning because, as I said, dream never expires, right? Once you complete one, you will have another one. So keep learning. So these are some of the next steps that you need to take on. Any questions so far? All right, let's do one thing. Let's see VBA in action, right? So I'll do a small demo to help you understand uh, how VBA works, right? It's a demo about not how you will learn, but a demo about how VBA works. Okay,
Works.
some of the things that you'll be able to do after learning VBA. All right, ready? Okay,
Yes.
so I'm just going to open a demo file that I prepared for this yesterday or refreshed it yesterday. So yeah, here it is. Okay, so I'm going to start with very simple thing, right? I have names, or let's start with this one. I have email addresses, all right, and I want to convert them into names. Most of your companies will have some of these name formats which you can use. So here is one menu I have created uh, in your Excel ribbon, right? This is the custom menu. These are the custom button that I have created, and you learn how to do it. So here you see the button convert to name, right? So I'm just going to click on it. It asks me, have you selected the data? This message box I have added. Nothing is done by Excel automatically. So I have added it. So I said yes. Okay. It asked me for domain name. So I'm going to say yahoo.com. I say okay. It asks me to provide a separator. I say it is underscore and say okay. And this will be converted to names. Now, this is a very basic thing, right? And I have kept it interactive. So all the message box or all the pop-ups that you saw is something that you will write into the code. And next time when user use them, it will be very easier for them to do it. But let's say you know what you need to do for your company. Then you don't have to have those all pop-ups and everything. All you need to do is just click on a button and things will work, right? For example, let's say Now I converted it to name, I can convert them back to the email. So same procedure, I'll provide the domain name and I'll add the separator and they'll be converted back, right? Of course, we can do it with formula, but or even with control and replace or control H is what we call, but that will take some time, right? This
Mm.
will be faster. Let me show you something more. Many times you have to format the numbers, format the data. This is how you can do it easily. So you select this. Let's say I want to convert this numbers to show as kgs. I just click a button. It is converted to kg. And if you look at it, this is not text. This is numbers. So you can see average, count, and sum here. If you want to remove format, just click on it. The format will be removed. As easy as clicking buttons, right? This is another way or idea that you can use to simplify your day-to-day work. All right, interesting so far. Let's make it a little bit more interesting. I have some data here. I'll show you what kind of data I have. I have a name. If I look at it, I have like at least 10 names here. I have 4 products. I have random sale values and I have 4 reasons. Let's say I want to split this data and send every person's data to them. Okay, sending is going to happen just upload on a folder. Whereas uh, I want to create a file separately for each individual. So what I'll need to do, I'll go ahead, I'll filter, I'll select, copy, paste it into new files, save it as a specific name with, let's say, the name of a person without making spelling mistake. Now this person's name is little bit weird. So add that and save it, close it, and repeat it. Let's say it will take me, if not more, 1 minute to create one file,
Yes.
correct? Let's see how fast we can do it with automation. So here is one automation, split an email. So I'm going to click on split. All right, it's asked me, and this is also the box that we create using programming. Okay, it says there are 4 columns in selected file. Okay, how does it know? Let me see if I copy one, will it say there are more? So split. It knows there are 5 columns, right? So it is an automation which is dynamic. So what you learn throughout the course is to make dynamic automation. So your data changes, your values changes. Anything happen, you'll still be able to work through your automation. So dynamic is a keyword when you do programming using VBA. All right, so let's do it. There are 4 columns. I want to use, let's say, one column to split it, which is name. So I'll select here name. Okay, and click on split and create files. All right. So let's say I'll do it here in a class folder or on my desktop. I'll create a new folder. I'll call it new split files. Okay. I'm going to keep it as it is. Let's go to that folder on our desktop. Here, new split file. And if you see, it's empty at the moment, right? Nothing is in here. So I'm going to go here and click OK. So it will start splitting the file. You can see those files are getting created in a folder. Started at 10:10. Let's see how many files get created and how much times it takes. So I got a message that says 10 files created and saved in Rakesh Chandana desktop new split files. All right, close this here and see how much time it took. So process started at 10:10, ended at 10:10, is still 10:10. It is not gone beyond like 10 hours, 10 minutes, and everything is created for us. We created all 10 files in less than a minute, probably 30 seconds or so. So this single thing has saved you 9 minutes at least, right? Let's see if there is a huge data and you have to do lot of split, right? What I'll do now is I'll try to do a combination of cells and name. For example, I take a name here and I'll take cells will be too much. So I'll take, let's say, region east. Then this is one file. Then region north is another file. So probably 20 files or so I'll have to create. Or if I take cells, there will be more. Right? So let me do this thing. I'll copy this data and increase the number of rows. So I have like more rows now. Let's try to split it with cells. Now cells, if I select here, I select a person's name and select, let's say, one of the cells values. So I'll at least have two rows. Okay. In average, let's say if I have data of 875 rows, so there could be around 400. I don't know how many files will be there. So let's try to create them. We'll see how much time it takes. So I click on split. I'll select two. All right. I'll say name and I'll say cells. So दो column select हो गए. Then I'll click on it. I'll select the folder on desktop, which is this uh, new split files. I have deleted the old files that we had there, so there's nothing in here now. So I'll click OK and it will start creating files for me. So it started at 10:12, and I don't know how many files are going to be created, right? So give it some time. Uh, so far, it has created 15 files or so. You can see the count here. See here, items लिख के आ रहा है. That is the number of files that is being created. So 1 minute is almost over. We have 30 files created. I honestly don't know कितने file create हो गए. So थोड़ा सा इसको break देते हैं. But you're trying to understand, right? How fast it can work and with accuracy. So you don't actually have to worry about one having errors. Second, resulting those errors or rectifying those errors, which takes more time than what you actually spend on doing thing. And it will not also take time for actually doing the entire task. So you can be free within couple of minutes instead of couple of hours. So far, 74 files has been created. And I'll give you one more interesting fact about this automation. So this automation I have done in 2011. I built this, and this wasn't built for as an example for FCKS. This was built for one of the telecom industry MNC in India. So I was getting interviewed there, and they had a problem where they were trying to uh, get files split and send it across. So I did this automation, and this is one of the work they used to do, not the automation. So they were not hiring me for doing automation. They're hiring me as an Excel expert, and what they wanted my expertise in one of these tasks. I was like, this can be automated, and I gave them this automation. And instead of hiring me, they paid me into gift voucher and said that we are not looking for anyone anymore. If you are okay, we'll be using this automation. So
Oh,
yeah, so the thing is, interesting thing around this is in future you'll see all people trying to automate things, and you need to be on the side of people who are automating, uh, so you're still very employable, right? Rather than people whose work is getting automated. That can be scary. All right, 173, 74, it is increasing as I speak, but let's see how many files we get. All of you has done something in Excel. How good you are in Excel? Have you worked in Excel before? I know Meghna, you have done Excel class for me, so I vouch for you.
mm.
You are expert. What about
Thank
others?
you.
आप लोगों
Yeah,
ने
I work
Excel,
in Excel
you work in
daily
Excel daily,
basis.
so
Yeah.
okay, you are also good. See, Excel, it is not necessary that you should have Excel skill to learn VBA, not the expert level. but having basic understanding helps. Lot of things that you do in Excel, the concept can be similar. I'll give you an example. For example, let's say when you apply a formula, let's say VLOOKUP, you see number of parameters, right? And what kind of parameters you need to put. When you try to use some of these methods, is what you call basically they are functions and formulas in VBA. When you try to use them, they will also have similar kind of inputs. So if you understand formula, you'll be able to relate methods and UDFs, which is user-defined functions, very easily. But we'll talk about it when we start the class. Okay, should I interrupt it? It's already 254 files and still going. I think the sales values were unique, so I think around 400 files will get created. We'll see how much time it takes. We started at, I guess, 10:12, right? We started this micro at 10:12 and it is 10:17, so 5 minutes भी नहीं हुए हैं अभी हो रहे हैं. We have created almost 290, I'll say ahead of the number, 290, yes, 290 files and it's still increasing. How much time you would take to create 300 files? Good question to ask yourself. Give me rough estimate. Let me ask Prasad. Prasad, how much time will take to create 320 files?
Probably 4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours. Okay, 4 to 5 hours takes you to 300 minutes. You'll create one file each minute. Correct?
Yes.
Without breaks.
I
How about
That
you,
is not
Meghna?
possible.
think more than a minute for a file, because if the file is having so many columns and data,
Yeah.
then
Our work
definitely.
is completed. 339 files created. So we have 339 files. And it started at 10:12, ended at, scroll down, 10:18. So basically 6 minutes. Uh, let's consider 1 minute. How many files we got? Just let me have a look again.
6 minutes and 300 files. So
339
50.
files we did. If we spend 1 minute on each file, it will take us 339 uh, minutes. If we divide it by 60, so around 5 hours and 6.65 of an hour, which is basically 36 minutes. So we can safely say like what you say in Hindi, पौने 6 घंटे लगेंगे. Uh, so almost 6 hours. So entire day will go into creating this 339 files. Let's look at the name that we have added here. So the name is the combination of this. The name, file name is combination of the fields that you have selected. Now you can sometime make error into it. Then you'll have to rectify, you'll have to verify, you'll have to make sure that it's correct. With this, you don't have to do it, right? Because you know it is correct. So
Mm.
you have saved uh, all of this basically. So you have saved 333 minutes. That is
Oh,
your time
150.
saving, one instance. And this is not something that you'll do one time, right?
Yes.
This is an ongoing one.
And even if
So
there
we
is a
can
large
say,
data, it will still be similar speed.
right, one associate work.
Yeah, you saved, you just got one guy fired. That's a very bad way to put it, though. Who was that? Prasad, right? Prasad, are you from management side?
Actually, I was the team lead. Now I'm working as a IC, or
Yeah,
individual
you
contributor.
still have that management thing into you. Time saving and people saving, huh? Good, good. All right. Any questions?
Nothing so far
Okay.
within, yeah.
So this is basically the end of our demo. We don't stretch it very long. Our class will start probably from next week or early or in probably 10 days or so. So we provide 1 week or 2 weeks to make sure that registration is complete. There are some of the students I had 16 registration for class, but not everybody is able to show up for the demo, right? So we have this video available so they can look at it and decide whether they want to join the class or not. You will get some time to decide whether you want to join a class or not. Couple of things that you should know. One, we don't record our sessions, right? So while demo is recorded, our session is not recorded for a couple of reasons. One, we want to make sure that you get a habit of attending class in person. If you know that there is going to be a video, you probably try to see that, hey, let's go through video. We don't want to worry about, probably it's okay to miss today's class, right? So that is one thing we want to avoid. Second thing is we want to make it interactive. We want to hear your questions live and solve them live. All right. It wouldn't be one of the things where we'll say, okay, we'll get back to you later or we'll try this next time, right? In some cases, if time is not permitting, then that's a different thing. But we'll try to solve your problem immediately as you ask them. So that is some of the reasons we don't actually record the video or make them available. Uh, Other thing is the exam that you will give will be a practical exam. It will not be multi-choice questions. You'll actually uh, get 10 examples that you'll need to try and solve in 1 or 1.5 hour, depending on what kind of examples we have chosen. But all these examples will cover or will come from what we have covered in the class. So there will be nothing outside of it. So that is the another thing. These are some of the questions I usually get from students. So if you have any question, you can ask or we can drop and you can reach out to the number there. Take a screenshot of this if you want uh, and proceed with registration, or you can reach out to me. I'll share my number as well with you on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll,
Hey Rakesh, I have one question.
yeah.
If some of the reason cannot attend the morning class, let's say because of any ad hoc meeting or planned meeting, due to office, so is there any alteration you have that you can attend the evening class like that?
There's no like, so even if there is a class now, it will not run parallel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So one class will start, let's say today, another class will start after a month. So you'll at least a month apart. But of course, you can
Mm-hmm.
attend those missing classes into those class. It will not be
Mm-hmm.
an issue. However, it's a weekday class, right? And duration is just 1.5 hour. So probably we'll cover, let's say, 5 examples or 4 examples. So what we'll do usually is first 15 minutes of every class we spend on revision of what we have done. So that will help you mostly with what you have missed if it is just one day. Let's say if you missed more than one day, then you can get those session into the next batch or any running batch which will not be parallel to be honest. So any running batch also you can take it. So that facility is there, but they will not be parallel. Like it will not be like some of those old time serials like सुबह महाभारत आ रहा है शाम को सेम रिपीट हो रहा है वैसे नहीं होगा uh, थोड़ा गैप रहेगा okay.
Okay. Yeah, understood. Yeah.
Yeah, good
Thanks.
question though. Yeah. Anything else?
Actually, this detail is not like visible. So if Radha sir can share this detail over the WhatsApp, that will be helpful.
Yeah, I have just typed my number in the chat. Okay, if you ping me on WhatsApp, I'll send this across to you. Okay, and save my number. It will be helpful for you in future as well.
Yeah.
Yes, sure,
Great.
sir.
All right. All right. What else? Anything else?
Um, Nothing for now from my end, sir.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You have my contact details, and we'll see you soon. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks a
Have
lot.
a nice day.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
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 Bye.